Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel Pratham Diaries. Today we'll talk about field parameters and I'll show you some different workarounds that you can do using field parameters within Power BI. So recently there were some discussions I had wherein I was thinking about how I can effectively use field parameters, and I wanted to work out some different ideas out there. So I'll do one thing, I'll show you what I've done, and it's you I would say, if you would like the video, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and also share this with different people that different developers as will help them. So without delaying anything, let's do one thing, let's get back to the system. So if you look at this is our field parameter, this is our Power BI report wherein we are using field parameters everywhere. So this is a standard sales report, and within the sales report I have a dates where I can switch the order date, and I have the KPI wherein I can change the different measures so that it will dynamically reflect. So this is created by using field parameters. If you are not aware how to create field parameters, so you can go to the modeling tab, and within the modeling tab under new parameter select fields, and then from your table you can select measures or dimensions. So if you are I would recommend when you're creating field parameters, if you can create one measure field parameter and one dimension field parameter, so which will be comprising both. So here I have used the dimension field parameters, and here I have the measure field parameters. So the all fields that I have is basically all the dimensions, and we have the KPIs, which is basically all the measures. So we'll be taking examples of this too over this session. So even if you look at the field parameters, what I have done here, I've used a geo field parameter, basically which comprises only of city, country, region, and the KPIs with the total sales. But what I do is when I select a city, and my visual here, the map visual changes as per the city. The moment I select state, it will change by the state. But what I've also done is I've included included another setting here, wherein once I select a state in the field parameter, it will dynamically show me the particular state that I can further use it for selection. And if I change it back to city, it will then go and change the city. So in this way I can use field parameters and then further utilize it to further consume my data. So this becomes a very good example for an end user if he wants to do a dynamic usage of the report, and this will also be good for them to do a self-service analysis without getting them access to the data set, or we don't have to enable personalized visuals because they don't know what the fields are. Also on the right hand side under the KPI boxes, you can have the user select whatever KPI he wants to look at, and he would get the total KPI, the KPI numbers here. And this is completely interactive. So if I select binders for example, my particular report changes. Or if I want to analyze anything by 2021 entries out there, so I'll have the interaction. So basically I've worked the way out by also enabling and disabling certain interactions on this page. So this is a very easy way. So I'll tell you how I've created the geo mapping, the field parameters. So basically I have categorized. So I have a dimension field parameter. So what I've done is wherever I need a city, state, region, and country, I've created another custom column on top of that. So for example, if you look at this particular custom column that I've created, so it says if contains string within the all fields. So basically under the all fields that I have, which contains all my measures here. If I look at all fields, these are all the dimensions that I have selected, not measures, sorry about that. So within the all fields, if the string contains category, if the string contains country, or if the string contains region, state, so it will then give me it will then give me geo as the flag. So wherever I have the country, region, state, and city, it will give me geo. Wherever I have the category and subcategory, I have grouped them as category. Wherever there is mode, shipping mode, I have given them as mode, and where it contains names, I give them as names. I can also add, if there is a segment, I can also add a segment in here. So I can just do or I can just change this particular category, and I can say here also else segment. We have a segment. So in this way, basically we can create the categories, and we can further use the categories into our visual into the field parameters. So let me just do one thing. Let me bring in a new page. So these are certain themes I have created. So what we can do is, for example, if I want to do a analysis by country, and if I just do a blank table for the time being, let me just pull up a blank page, and within the blank page, let me bring in the different slide a theme that I've created. Let me do slide number 4. So I bring in slide number 4, and this would be better, so I can show the multiple examples here. So I bring in a table, and within this table, what I want to do is I will bring in the categories. I'll bring in the category selection. Instead of that, I'll bring in the all fields first. We bring in the all fields, and I have a KPI field parameter which is measured, combination of measure. So I'll have all the measures here, and I have all the dimensions. Now what we can do is we can create a slicer panel on top of that. So I have the category slicer, so wherein I will create a slicer for category, and now within this I will change this to drop down, and here I can then choose the category for like geo. So everything by the geo, country, United States, region, state will come in. Further, if I want to use the all fields here, now I can also bring in the all fields into this, and then I have this. Now but what I want to do is within this country, now today I want to say under the geo, I want to see only the country, and within the country I want to only see what countries there are, or forget the country, I would do a region because I just have one data. So here I don't want everything, I just want to select few cities in here. So what I can do is I can take this all fields and I can copy paste this, and now under the all fields parameter I have an option that show values of the selected field. Now what this does is, the moment you select city, it will give you the city names. So I can then select the city. Then if I just want to switch this from city, and I want to go to state, so I can then go and select the state, and I would be able to do that. So in this way I can easily go and change. If I want to say I just want the state, but I also want I just want the city as well, then I would be able to get multiple selections in here. So within the state I can get multiple cities, and then I can do that. So this is one way you can basically use the field parameters extensively, and this is very helpful for the user, because here you are giving the user the option to select the data that he might require for the export, or basically if he wants to do an analysis here in this way, that if I want to do a subcategory versus returns, or subcategory versus the total sales, the user can go and change this by product name, and he will be able to see the visuals changing by the product name and the sale of it. So I feel this is a very good option that you can give to the user. So that's point number 1. Second point, which is very essential, I'll show you the second way that how you need to make it work as well. So let's work on the second part. So on the second part, for example, since we have this page and we have the section here, now I have the KPIs. So for example, I create a KPI card in here with my field parameter. Now I will just create a standard KPI card, and then within this I put in the KPI field parameter. Okay, and let me just format this, and let me see, I will change this to 25 bold, and label I prefer it as 10 bold and no background. So I can put this here. I can make it fit here. Now when you look at this particular KPI, okay, one of the things that you see that we have when we bring in the measures in the field parameter, it will automatically give it a numeric format. So if you want to say my table returns is the first KPI, I can just go and within the KPI table itself here, I have the order field which generally is hidden. So I can just unhide this and I can I can make it visible, and I can then use this as a filter itself. So under the KPI, so what I'll do here is I'll take the KPI order and I'll say okay, this is my this is my KPIs and this is my order, sorry. So we'll use 1 2 3 4 5. Now I'll say if my KPI is 1, this is 1, it's basic filtering. Sorry, category, sorry, I'm so sorry, KPI category, it was KPI order and it's basic filtering. If it's 1, then what I'll do is similarly I'll copy this 3, 4 and 5, and I can change this to 2, 3, 4 and 5. And now suppose you have this, but if you look at the orders, I have the returns first and then the orders and the products. Now generally when you do the KPIs, we create these measures, and if somebody tells you to change the measure in the card or rearrange the card, it becomes very tricky. So what you can do here is you can just go to this KPI field parameter that we have created, and you can change this series. Like for example, if I want to have the product as 1, I'll then give it product as 1. I give the total sales as I'll give the total sales as 1, total orders as 2, then I'll take the products in 3, then I'll do the returns as 4, and percent return is 5. And then the moment I change the measure, automatically in here, because I've already given them the filters based on 1 2 3 4 5, it will give me the alignment. And this way we can basically change our particular visuals as well. So for example, again, if I am doing KPIs and for some reason I don't want to use the total sales, okay, and I just want to switch it, I can then again similar way I can take this things here, okay, and I have a dimension here and I'll just minimize this, I paste it here, don't change the visuals, and in here I'm giving them a drop down. So instead of the KPIs also, if they want to change it by the KPI 1 2 3, they can definitely go ahead and do that. So this is one way what I prefer working on it. And tomorrow if you're having the same report, so you can basically go and change that. But one of the important things that you would want to know here is whenever you change the alignment, also look at the field slicers. So this is one of the ways you can use field parameters effectively. It's a very small video, short tips, but very helpful. Try it out in your report. If you love the way I've explained it, please subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. If you like it, please comment, tell me what more videos you want me to do, and I'll definitely work on this. And that's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a great week ahead. Cheers.